Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
Our number one team in my top five is the Toronto Maple Leafs, man. 42 points or 42 points. Sorry to say. I caution you that it is the second week of December, but the Toronto Maple Leafs are the number one team in the NHL right now. Number two, the Tampa Bay Lightning. They came out of nowhere. 40 points, a 7-14 winning percentage. Tampa Bay has quietly got their game going. The Carolina Hurricanes, I can't ignore them with their 39 points, and I believe it's the highest winning percentage in the NHL at 722. Number four, the Florida Panthers, in a space of a week, have dropped from first to fourth in my rankings, and losing last night 8-2 to Ottawa at home in their worst game of the year reflects that. And number five, well, we can't have five Eastern teams. I had to go with somebody, so I went with the Minnesota Wild, who have got 39 points. They're number one in the West. Granted, they've lost two in a row. Their game was COVID postponed last night, but their winning percentage of .696 is among the top in the West. As far as the bottom five go, this took a little thinking too, but the Buffalo Sabres are 28th, the fifth worst team in the NHL. They are 2-8 in their last 10, so I think the Sabres are who we thought they were. Number 29, the Ottawa Senators. Yeah, they're making up for lost games and so forth, but by what I saw last night, they'll get the edge ahead of the New York Islanders, just a little bit better. The Islanders, 30th. Their .396 winning percentage or losing percentage is the worst in the Metropolitan Division. And then there's really no doubt who the worst two teams in the NHL are. Montreal, the worst in the East, and the Arizona Coyotes are worst in the West. 12 points only, if you can believe, into December. .222 winning percentage, and their goal differential is an NHL worst, -53.
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hashtag dad advice from Jim Peterson, my dad, who said, cheer as loud as you want for your own team. Don't ever boo the other team. Don't ever boo the other team. And to boo your own team? Unthinkable. In the world of James William Peterson. So, A, I would never do it. B, with the cost of those things? Are you kidding me?
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Happy Thursday, everybody, and welcome to the RP Show. Welcome inside Daytime Sports Talk, coming to you from South Florida and the bunker in the NHL's Bermuda Triangle. Holy smokes, it's a brand new day. I feel 10 pounds lighter because I got my hair cut today, Moose, and there's a story behind that. Can we get the Moose on my screen? He is in what I'm told, the deep freeze, the Great White North. How you doing, Darren? Good to see you.
I'm cold, but happy birthday, Rod. I know everybody wants to wish you a happy birthday all across the continent and around the world. So happy birthday. I know Florida's a great place to be celebrating it. I hope you get some Golden Corral or, have your Dunkin' Donuts coffee this morning, but happy birthday.
Not a bad idea. I got Starbucks going here today. I really do miss the Caliber coffee, which you're rocking at home, and I'm very much envious of that. But yeah, it's been a good day. The reason I had a weird look on my face when we came in is I'm got two headphones going here, and boom, it just like blew my head when I plugged these things in here today. So bear with me. That's the biggest problem of my day today. And other than to say this, I've been down here long enough that I needed to get a haircut, obviously, Darren. I'm not like these heathens like yourself that go months on end without haircuts. So I stopped in. There was a lady getting out of her car, a nice, Latino-looking lady. I would later go on to find that she was from Brazil, and she pulled me into her studio, and she got cutting my hair. You now see her on Instagram. She said, "Who did you trim this? Who did this? This is too high." I said, "I did that." And she goes, "This is not my work." She says, "You're mine now." And I'm like, okay. So you notice the coif, right, and the style.
It looks
good.
I like it.
How about that?
Yeah, you can go find her on Instagram. She's got only 55,000 Instagram followers. And I can't remember the name of it already. I think it was Mega Hair Extension. Go follow her. Can't remember her name even. Mega Hair Extension. But she's like, "You're mine now." And I'm like, okay, works for me. And here we go.
All right.
Bob's your uncle. Can we? We got Jason Gregor coming up from TSN 1260 Edmonton, and now would be a good time to probably get into the poll question. This was producer Clark's idea, and I like it. For Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center, what are the Edmonton Oilers' biggest problem? The losers of 6 in a row. The options are secondary scoring, blue line play, goaltending, or other. And when I was tweeting it, I thought, can we say all of the above? But Clark was like, no, let's leave it other because there are other options. It could be coaching, but it's not coaching. But anyways, the Edmonton Oilers are home to Columbus tonight. We'll get to the bottom of the oil with Jason Gregor in hour 1. And then Ryan Leslie joins us from Sportsnet Flames to talk about the COVID capital. That is Calgary, Alberta, at least as far as it pertains to their NHL team. So those are the guests. Can you please hit the Quick Six show horn, please, Director? Thank you. What I tell you, it's loud. Might have to drop one of these things. Okay, number 1. Urban Meyer's tumultuous NFL tenure ended after just 13 games and 2 wins when the Jacksonville Jaguars fired him first thing this morning because of an accumulation of missteps. Owner Shad Khan made the move hours after former Jaguars player Josh Lambo told a Florida newspaper that Meyer kicked him during a practice in August. It was the latest black eye, adding to an already lengthy list of embarrassments for the 3-time national championship winning college coach who failed miserably to make the transition to the NFL. Meyer joins former Falcons coach Bobby Petrino as college coaches whose NFL careers flamed out in stunningly swift fashion. Petrino resigned in December 2007 to take over at Arkansas. They were 3-10 at the time with the Falcons. On that list, though, is Lou Holtz, I might add, in the 1970s. Same thing happened to the legendary Lou Holtz. But listen, this show is all about honesty, transparency. So let's be honest with you. I've been ensconced in the forest that is the Canadian Football League for much of the last 20 years, right? So that's the forest I've been in. And when I'm not in that, it was junior hockey and a little bit NHL. I wasn't really following Urban Meyer, what he was doing at Florida and OSU for the most part, until the last couple of years, until I got out of the CFL vacuum. And since I've been down here, which has been now a significant amount of time, they just hate Urban Meyer. They can't stand Urban Meyer, maybe just in this state of Florida or maybe all of America. Like this morning, you were watching ESPN's Get Up. They were eviscerating Urban Meyer for personal decisions and some professional decisions made, Darren, just this year, just with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Never mind what he did in the college ranks for 20 plus years. So I shot a text to one of my football guys. He's up in Central Florida. I said, why do you all hate Urban Meyer? Can you tell me? Because he seems likable to me. He's won 3 national championships. He's good friends with Tim Tebow. That's good enough for me. And he wrote me back and said he's simply an old school coach. And these new young players can't handle an old school coach. And I'll take his word for it. I'm not going to out who that football guy was that told me that. But I think there's more to it. This is kind of a Chris Jones type thing in the Canadian Football League where so many CFL fans don't like Chris Jones either. It's not just because he wins and they're jealous. And in the case of Urban Meyer,
it's not.
Yeah, for the case of Urban Meyer, for those that don't know, he didn't fly home with his team from a game in Ohio. He stayed in Columbus, went to a regular restaurant bar, got caught in a photo with a woman that wasn't his wife, patting her backside, probably a no-no right there. Hired a strength coach in his first hire this year that had a checkered past with players. Signed Tim Tebow, his buddy, which upset a lot of people in Jacksonville. And to be honest, Darren, he's not the first coach that would bring his buddies along when he got a new job. But when it's your first NFL assignment, you might want to tone it down a little bit. But I think if I knew Urban Meyer, I think I'd like him. Because you know what he did when he got his first NFL job? He did a cannonball into the deep end. He didn't just tiptoe in the shallow end, right? But he didn't win. So with all that off-field stuff, if that had been cleaned up, do you think he's not fired today, despite the fact the Jaguars are 2-11?
Absolutely. Absolutely. He has his job if it wasn't for the off-field stuff. It was a spit show, in Jacksonville, and it became too much of a distraction. It wasn't nothing to do with the team being bad. It had everything to do with well, what was he doing? What culture was he setting? And that's what traditionally winning programs do. They set really good culture, right? This wasn't a winning culture being developed in Jacksonville. I think you could stomach the bad season if you had some good culture being developed and some hope for the future. But there was no signs that this team was on the right path, that they were moving forward. I mean, when Urban Meyer was hired, remember, that's the division that my Titans are in, right? So I was a little bit worried. I'm like, oh, they're going to be good now. The Colts are always good. The Texans, if Deshaun Watson was actually on the team, I was in trouble. But the biggest difference for me with Urban Meyer in college versus the pros, kicking kickers and doing those things, is it's a 4-year cycle. So if you have a bad year and the leadership of one of those groups doesn't like you, they're gone in 4 years or less. And you can get a whole new group of prospects in that are on your page. In the NFL, it's a lot different. You don't recruit anybody, and they're there for 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 years. So completely different ball game, and he hasn't adjusted.
Well, and that's to our viewers. And I have not called up the YouTube comments yet, and I will. And the 902 text line is open for business too. But we can relate it to hockey if we want. We can relate it to CFL football, Canadian University football. Who's a guy that was really good at the one level, like really good, but then just couldn't translate it at the next level? Because most guys get to the next level that way. Not everybody. Not everybody does. But it's just Urban Meyer now goes on the board. Nick Saban, I'm sorry to say, is on that board of guys that have had tremendous college football success but could not translate it to the National Football League. And we spent enough time on this as it is for point one, other than to say two things. One, he's got a 5-year contract with Jacksonville, so they're trying to find a way, that's what I'm hearing, to say that they're firing him with cause so they can get out of paying him the last 4 years of his contract. We'll see how that plays out. And the other, we've heard it a lot, is treating pros like boys. You came from college where you were coaching boys, or let's say junior hockey, and then you go to the NHL or NFL and you want to treat these players the same way. You can't do that. So who are some of the guys that just couldn't translate it from one level to the next? I'd like to have that discussion. That would be a fun one today. Moving on to point two, Caleb Jones scored his first goal of the season, 121 into overtime, and the Chicago Blackhawks beat Alex Ovechkin and the Washington Capitals 5-4. Wednesday night, Ovi scored his 274th career power play goal in the second period, matching Dave Andrichuk's NHL record, but Chicago responded with 3 goals in 34 seconds for the win. In Glendale, Arizona, Capo Caco had 2 goals, including the game winner with 2:18 to go, and the New York Rangers scored twice on the power play in the final 6 minutes to beat Arizona 3-2. The Coyotes have lost 6 in a row. And how about those Ducks? Whack, whack. Troy Terry got his 18th goal, and Derek Grant scored shorthanded as Anaheim beat Seattle 4-1. They've won 4 of their last 5. Trevor Zegras and Sam Carrick also scored for the Pacific Division leading Ducks, who spoiled the expansion Seattle's first appearance in Southern California with a one-sided win. So I think it was about a month ago that I said, do you think these Anaheim Ducks are for real, or are they over their skis as a bunch of young kids? Because they're very young. And I think at that time you felt that they were for real. And here we are a month later, and they're leading the Pacific Division. So I hope it continues, because I had them finishing 3rd in the Pacific, and they were ready to commit me. I tell you, it's a lot. It's a lot to be like I am, out on that limb, so far ahead of the pack that they think you're behind. It's a lot to live with, man. But you'd think I'm getting used to it. 11-11 where you are.
Coming back to lap the pack, right? But that's it. So it's Anaheim's fun to watch. And you mentioned U.S. Thanksgiving being the key date, right? Well, they've passed that. We've passed U.S. Thanksgiving. We're rolling, and the Ducks aren't going away. So there's still lots of time left. They still got to keep their foot on the gas. And then last night in Arizona, it was fun to see old Phil the Thrill, mixing it up outside the crease a little bit, getting tough. They said he would, he knows how to throw them. Well, that wasn't exactly your typical drop the gloves, heavyweight tilt, but he did win whatever you're going to call that.
That's the one thing. The LA Kings are here tonight in Sunrise, and I may go early and chat with some of the hockey guys there. because I want to know at what point, although I don't need to, I can form my own opinions on this.
Yeah.
Because the RP show is now officially based in an NHL market, and it happens to be South Florida. I don't need their approval, but I can say this. At what point do the Arizona Coyotes become a problem in that it's the place that careers go to die? Be honest. How many people even knew that Phil Kessel was still playing in Arizona until you saw it on the highlights last night? Come on.
I know, and he's such a good player. No, he is. Like, he's a good player. He's one of the elite players in the NHL. Maybe not today. There's a lot of players that have surpassed him, but he has been. He's had a great career. He's one of the great shooters. But you're right. You go there and it's like, who? Like, could you tell me who's on their first line? Second line?
No.
Like,
of course not.
Of course not. Like, it's tough. And that market needs to get a little bit of buzz going, but they just can't. And now the Suns are good, and they're just and the Cardinals are really good. They're lost in the market.
I've always been lost in the market, Darren. Don't get me going. But as one NHL general manager told me, they're not doing anything different in the NHL that they're doing in Major Junior. It's just to scale. And I think that's the same in every facet of sports. So this is what I think. That owner in Arizona of the Coyotes has more money than God. As my mom would say, God bless her, more money than brain. Her phrase. And Commissioner Gary Bettman is like every other commissioner. You got enough money? Can you pay your bills? Do you have more money than God? We're good. I actually believe that is a thing. I really do. In every league, as long as you got enough money, run your team however you want. And I'm going to move on. We can come back on that. Point 3, World Juniors. I just want to say this. On December the 24th, Christmas Eve, we will be airing on Game Plus Television and YouTube Live our annual World Juniors preview. Very Canadian-centered, although we will have reps from Team USA to talk about the tournament coming up in Red Deer and Edmonton. But you were part of the chat yesterday with Alan Miller, the general manager of Team Canada. His actual title is Director of Player Personnel. And I just want to mention that not every sports talk show gets to have a one-on-one with a guy like Al Miller with Team Canada. And I think people want to be tuning in for that on Christmas Eve here on Game Plus TV and the RP show. But Darren, in case you forgot, Al Miller said this team has a little more fire in it, a little more scrappiness than last year's team in Edmonton, which I think is saying a lot because they didn't trail all tournament last year. Remember, we were saying this might be the greatest Team Canada of all time. They were kicking the crap out of everybody. They never trailed. And then they get into the World Junior game or the gold medal game and they lose 2-0 and they never trailed and they panicked and they lost. But how do you feel with that from Al Miller? We'll be watching. We always do, but extra much so because Connor Bedard's on the team. But there's some more fire in this year's team.
That makes me feel good. That makes me feel really good because, I mean, for me, the best moments growing up watching Team Canada, you fell in love because they had fire. They had a little scrappiness. They had some high-end players, no doubt, always do, great goaltending. But they always had an energy line that you fell in love with or a bottom six that you just loved how scrappy they were. And I think of guys like Steve Downey or Jordan Tutu or, guys like that who would run guys through the wall, who just, had that maple leaf on the front, and they were your energy guys. And the team just followed those guys who just went. Scotty Upshaw was another guy that kind of played that role for Team Canada, guys I remember growing up. So I hope there's a little bit of that. I hope there's a little bit of fire. We don't need to see big hits and running through guys through the wall, and the game has evolved. I get that. But it makes me feel good that they're a little bit scrappy. I like that.
Chipping in some comments from the viewers. Cameron Young watching on YouTube says it's called having more WHL players. Yeah, it is.
How about
From
that?
Andrew on YouTube. Andrew on YouTube says Arizona's team isn't going anywhere. Austin Matthews signing with them after this current contract expires. I didn't say they were going anywhere. Wiki. I said the NHL owners don't care if they're a grease fire as long as they pay their bills and have enough money. That's what I said. Never said they were leaving. Please pay attention. Free Oleg watching in Winnipeg says, I'm writing a letter to Justin Trudeau to support my cause. I want the Americans to give Rod back. Well, first of all, Rod would have to want to come back. from Ryan in Saratoga, New York says, and then Canada got skunked by the U.S. and Spencer Knight in the gold medal game. Are we starting this, huh? Canada-U.S. now? It's a little early, but we can. When we come back, we will talk about the Thursday night NFL game. Steven Stamkos says he wants to go to the Olympics. We got some CFL stuff to get to. 50% capacity of stadiums and arenas in Ontario. How about that? We're halfway through the Quick Six. We'll be right back. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Text 902-518-3033. 902-518-3033. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rod Pedersen. Text 902-518-3033.
You might not be injured if you slip and fall, or you might hit your head. That could cause a traumatic brain injury that, depending on how severe it is, could take months to heal or leave you with long-term effects. Effects like getting debilitating headaches for the rest of your life. Slips, trips, and falls can have a lifetime impact. Take safer steps with WorksafeSask.ca.
This holiday season, wish your way at Capital Ford Lincoln. Unwrap a completely customized vehicle ordering experience. Reserve a pre-ordered unit that's already on its way. Or get into a pre-owned vehicle that's on the lot and ready to roll. And don't forget, we pay big for your used vehicle, even if you don't buy from us. Plus, our service department is your winter headquarters. Get special pricing on name brand tires, storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. This holiday season, wish your way at Capital Ford Lincoln. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
I started the Shatler Lacrosse Academy 3 years ago, and my main goal for the province of Saskatchewan was to spread the game and the awareness of lacrosse. Jeff Shatler here, number 77 with the Saskatchewan Rush. I currently play forward, 16 years pro. I live, work, and play in the province of Saskatchewan. Direct West's mission is to grow Saskatchewan economy by helping small local businesses win with digital advertising services, but they are also a major supporter of local sport, art, and charitable organizations. Year after year, Direct West continues to put their money where their mouth is, and ensuring the minor sports and art and music festivals can continue to thrive in our province. They continue to do all they can to promote our communities and assist nonprofit charitable organizations in the effort to improve the quality of life in the province of Saskatchewan. I'm proud to work with Direct West and call the province of Saskatchewan my home.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds, feel in the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama, I live for the emotion. No one can take me down, bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Welcome back to the RP Show, everybody, on this Thursday. We're covering a lot of ground, but not particularly fast, and that's fine. Settle on in, fill up your coffee. It is a daytime sports talk originating from beautiful South Florida and the bunker up in the NHL's Bermuda Triangle. Just to slide in a couple comments here, Moose. If we can bring him in. Randy in the Peg writes in and says, good morning, Rod and Moose. Hope the Panthers bring you a birthday win, Rod. Wouldn't that be nice? The LA Kings in town here tonight. Listen, you and I will have to agree to disagree. I think they get through the year with Andrew Burnett behind the bench, and then they look for see if they take the interim tag. Let's see how he does. We talked about this yesterday. You say, no, replace Joel Quenneville with what? A bigger name? Is that what you were saying yesterday?
Replace Burnett,
or
with
better.
Tortorella or somebody. Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody, a guy who can short-term make sure this team reaches its potential. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I've been watching every single game they play. They're pretty much near the top of their potential. So, anyways, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And they've been through enough having to say goodbye to Joel Quenneville. But anyways, it's the Panthers and the LA Kings tonight. DG watching in the Bridge City says, morning, guys. Happy Bowl Games Eve. Looking forward to the college bowl games kicking off tomorrow with the Bahamas Bowl. Seeing where that first game is being played, it made me wonder, with more teams coming into the FBS level in years ahead and more bowl games too, will we ever see a bowl game return to Canada? Toronto had their chance and blew it. Why not a game at BC Place in Vancouver? Make it 2 Western-based teams. I'd go. Food for thought there from DG in the Bridge City. The International Bowl. I don't know why they stopped going to Toronto. It was up until not that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo was in it like every year. Yeah, I don't know why they stopped doing that. And I forwarded you that email from NFL Canada. Did you see where the Vikings and the Seahawks have been awarded territorial rights to come into Canada and market their teams at the grassroots level all across this country? Like, I just sent it to you as a what?
I know. Isn't that crazy? I've said, and people will start figuring this out, to pay attention a little bit, right? There's no borders. Canada, U.S., that border is very thin now. It is shrinking. It is becoming less of a thing. Even going across it is easy. Traveling across Canada and to the U.S. is easy. Like I said, it is just as easy, just as cheap for me to go and spend a weekend in Vegas, go to a football game, stay in a hotel and fly there than it is for me to go to Winnipeg or Vancouver. I mean, that's North America now. It's not just Canada and the U.S. It's North America.
Jamie Anstey is watching in Nova Scotia on Game Plus. And he texts the 902 line. Happy birthday, Rod. Life now with everyone living with a pandemic life wouldn't be much fun without your show and your recovery hour. A solid dude through and through, says Jamie. Thank you, Jamie. He says, let's see you on TikTok so we can all receive more Rod in our life. Have a great day, buddy. Go Gators. I'm not going to be on TikTok. I'm not a teenage girl. Hey, no offense to you guys that are, because I know Clark's very big on TikTok. I say that somewhat tongue-in-cheek. I have a TikTok account. I surfed it a little bit and said, not for me. It's not for me. Anyways, moving on.
Oh, no.
No. From back on point. If we are on point, the announcement made by the Ontario government yesterday. And listen, when Doug Ford appears on your screen and you're watching TSN Sports Center, it's never a good thing. Okay, that's one thing I've deduced in the last 21 months of the pandemic. When I see Doug Ford, it ain't good. And I'm a Doug Ford fan. But did you see the clip of him standing at a podium, the premier of the province of Ontario, imploring people why this was important to cap capacity at Raptors, Maple Leafs, Senators games at 50%? And none of that. We did a little bit on this yesterday. None of it makes sense to me. You see that the NFL wants to ramp up COVID protocols. The NHL is ramping up COVID protocols. 10 days ago, we had the commissioner of the CFL say, hey, we're 20 months into this thing. We can ease up now. That's what our medical people have said. So McLeod Bethel Thompson, play ball, which we incidentally told you would happen. Quite an about-face dupes in 10 days to go from we're loosening the COVID protocols because it's been this amount of time to this.
I know. I know. But you have to be able to understand that we live in a different world than we did 10 days ago, with all these different cases popping up. I mean, look, I mentioned yesterday. This tells you, though, the vaccines are working. We knew that they weren't going to protect you from catching it completely, but we're not hearing the same stories of people being sick, these athletes being sick and, life threatening. I mean, yes, that's still happening. Not taking that lightly, but it's not quite the same. The vaccines are doing their job, but yeah, with the variant and stuff, where does it end? That's what it makes you start to think. You had the Delta variant, now they have the Omicron variant. Where does it end? Does it end? Where does this go? How do we get rid of it? That's the frustrating part because it's like, I thought we were back. I thought we were so close. I thought we were like going to be able to take our masks off in public, and we're not there yet. So that's the biggest thing. That's the hurdle for sure.
Here in Florida, we can. How about that? And I know for a fact that I'll be going to the Orange Bowl at minimum $500 a ticket. The Capital One Orange Bowl. Gotta go. Boca Raton Bowl is here Saturday. 85,000 will be there. 85,000 will be at the Orange Bowl. Unbelievable. Football guy, U.S. college coach, DMing me on Twitter, just saying that he knew that the Urban Meyer way would not fly in the NFL. And, one of our viewers, Daryl in Toronto, DM'd me and said that you want to talk about a Canadian university coach that couldn't succeed at the pro level? Western's Greg Marshall. And you probably remember that. Played in the CFL, great success at university, and did not translate with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Goes back to university, has huge success. So
look, coaching isn't coaching.
Go ahead.
Coaching isn't coaching. It's not the same at every level. It doesn't just translate. There's a difference, different people, different culture. At some levels, you're teaching. Other levels, you're doing less teaching and you're doing more managing, people and doing more culture management and game plan management. You look at college football players, they're not getting paid. So they're hanging on you because you are their next opportunity. If they play well under you, then they get to go to the next level and make millions of dollars. In the NFL, they're already making millions of dollars. And they're also grown men who can say, no, I'm not doing that. I'm getting paid. I know I'm good. I've got an agent now. I've got all these things. It's a completely different ballgame.
I would far rather talk about this than COVID and 50% caps. So I'm going to stay on this for a minute or two because coaching is coaching, but coaching isn't coaching. Like John Paddock, I'm going to have to relate most things to hockey because that's what's in my DNA. That's what I understand the most. When he came from the NHL and the AHL, having had coached the Winnipeg Jets and the Ottawa Senators to the Pats, my team, just as a fan, I wasn't working with the Pats at the time in 2015. I'm like, why? He's 62. He hasn't been around junior hockey since 1978. What does this guy know about junior hockey? Come on. I was, to be honest, a little upset. Players have changed since then. And what did he do? Promptly took him to the league final for the first time since 1984. And to the Memorial Cup final for the first time since 1974. And then I had I had met John Paddock before, but then I've got to know him through our dealings with God's team and kind of sat him down. And he said, hockey's hockey. So it's obviously they're indifferent based on the individual, I guess is what I'm saying.
It is. It completely is different. And you got to look at the individual. Can he adjust and understand people a little bit and understand that, look at a junior hockey player has different things going on in his life than an NHL hockey player who might have a family, who might have kids. Junior hockey player might have school, but may have more time, less time. Who knows, right? And communicating to them, understanding the language that they speak. So it just tells you that a guy like John Paddock just makes him more impressive that he can go from talking to men to talking, junior players in the 70s to now talking to a different group, a generation of junior players, in the 2020s and still have success. That's phenomenal.
Robin, watching in the Gateway to the North, says on a local level, Dean Brockman, huge success at the SJHL level. Two natties with the Humboldt Broncos. Says wasn't able to translate that to the WHL. Chris Bird, watching in King City, Ontario, says Bert Templeton and Brian Kilray were icons in the OHL. Same with Stan Butler. These guys are junior hockey specialists. Stacey Champagne, watching from Access World Headquarters, says Pete Carroll seems to be the exception to the rule. Right? USC, Seattle Seahawks. Yeah, so it depends on the person. Wonderful discussion. Hey, my last 2 points were Stamkos wants to go to the Olympics. I know we don't have a lot of time to get into that. That surprised me when I saw it on Sportsnet. Did it surprise you?
A little bit, but Stamkos is a guy who just wants to play, just wants to be there. I mean, he played that one shift in the Stanley Cup final, scored a goal, and then sat on the bench the rest of the game in the playoffs. I mean, that stuff is cool the first year. He's a guy who just wants to play. And he's like, look at these COVID restrictions you're hearing about. You're only hearing about the worst case scenario. Probably not going to be that bad. We're going to be fine, willing to do it. So I like hearing that. Look at, when we have COVID, we have to wear masks. We have to get our vaccines. We just look at it as being like, okay, I'll do what I have to do to be able to do the things that I want to do.
Last point of the Quick Six Show topics is Thursday Night Football. The first two meetings between Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert have come down to the final minute, and with playoff positioning up for grabs, the same thing's expected tonight when the Kansas City Chiefs visit the Los Angeles Chargers. The two-time defending AFC champion Chiefs, who are 9-4, have won 6 straight since a 3-4 start to vault back into the division lead. One of those losses, though, was to the Chargers back on September 26th when Herbert threw a 4-yard touchdown pass to Mike Williams with 32 seconds to go as L.A. rallied for a 30-24 win. Chargers 8-5. They come in with wins in 2 straight games for the first time since October and can move into first place in the AFC West with a victory by virtue of sweeping the season series. Thursday Night Football tonight, Chiefs in charge. Moose, we'll see you back in hour 2. What do you say?
You betcha. Enjoy.
We're going to talk some Oilers next with Jason Gregor from TSN 1260. You are watching the RMP show on Game Plus Television, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds, feel in the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama, I live for the emotion. No one can take me down, bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Addiction. It destroys relationships, families, and lives. It makes individuals and the people who love them feel powerless. But the good news is that addiction is a treatable illness. At Aurora Recovery Center, we provide everything you need to build a solid foundation for your recovery, with holistic, evidence-based treatment tailored to each individual. Located in Gimli, Manitoba, on the shores of Lake Winnipeg, Aurora can help regardless of whether or not you feel ready or have tried before. Aurora Recovery Center. Recovery for life. Visit aurorarecoverycenter.com for more information today.
rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
RP show continues. Just ahead of Jason Gregor joining us from Edmonton, TSN 1260. I will say this. I have fallen in with a tremendous group of football guys here in South Florida. And one of them has sent me a list here on the firing of Urban Meyer, because everybody's been asking, what's the buzz? What's the talk? And I said to this guy this morning, why does everybody hate Urban Meyer so much? And this particular friend of mine down here in Florida does not hate Urban Meyer. Just said he's an old school coach and the new school players don't like that. Here's a list of first-time NFL head coaches who have come from college after major success. Urban Meyer, the latest, firing 2-11, going from OSU to the Jaguars. Matt Rule, from the Baylor Bears to the Carolina Panthers, he's 10-19 and still there. Cliff Kingsbury, from Texas Tech to the Arizona Cardinals, he's all-time 23-20-1 and has the number one team in the NFL right now by a lot of power rankings. Bill O'Brien. Do we want to talk about Bill O'Brien? From Penn State to the Texans, 52-48. Chip Kelly, from Oregon to the Eagles, 26-21. There's a long list here. Doug Marrone, Greg Schiano, Jim Harbaugh, Bobby Petrino. So all with middling success. And I appreciate him for sending me that info on the firing of Urban Meyer today. Well, the Edmonton Oilers are home tonight to the Columbus Blue Jackets, looking to snap a 6-game slide as we welcome in Jason Gregor from TSN 1260 Edmonton. Hey, Gregor, good to see you, my man. Our poll question today, by the way, is what's the Oilers' biggest problem? Secondary scoring, goaltending, blue line play, or other? You're the man. Everybody's excited to know what you think about the answer to that and what's wrong with the Edmonton Oilers right now.
Beck, can you put all of the above? Is that a response?
That's what I was going to say.
When you've lost 6 in a row, there's not much going. Their power play is struggling right now. The funny thing is, their last 4 games, they've actually, for long stretches, played pretty well against some good teams. They can't score, and they can't get the first goal, and they're not good enough to play from behind, it seems, this year anyway. And then they'll play long stretches, and then they just give up a really good chance, and boom, it's in their back of their net, and that's kind of plagued them. But the big thing, Rod, is, and I think it's probably not talked about enough. So last year when Mike Smith returned, from February 8th till the end of the season, the Oilers were 5th in goals against in the entire National Hockey League. He started 30 of 43 games. Koskinen started 13. And Mike Smith has started 3 games. He's finished 2 this season. Now, they did win all 3 games. They miss Mike Smith. There's no question about it. His puck handling abilities, I think they miss his emotion. But more so than anything, they miss his ability to make saves. He was very good last year, and he was very good until he got injured this season. People, I think, focus on his age like, well, that guaranteed he'd get hurt. Look at Tom Brady. There's lots of other athletes that are playing into their 40s and playing very well. It's unfortunate that Smith got hurt. He's getting close to coming back. But I think when he returns, that'll be a huge boost.
So you're saying basically, that you spent a lot of time there talking about goaltending. I'm just calling up the standings here right now. And the Oilers fourth are still holding on to a playoff spot for now. But what about that secondary scoring thing? Colton Seaver is the only one that scored against the Leafs the other night. You can't rely on the big two every night. I mean, I get there's plenty of blame to go around, basically, Jason, is what you're saying.
Yeah, well, obviously the bottom six scoring hasn't been very good at all. Let's call a spade here. They got way too many guys underperforming. But then, you throw in Kyler Yamamoto, you throw in Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, his 5-on-5 scoring is just simply not. When you're playing with the league's top scorers, you got to produce more. Like, hey, I get the bottom six guys. There's no question they have to produce more, and they got to limit more. They're getting crushed. But when you look at Yamamoto in basically the last 70 games, he's been beside Leon Draisaitl or McDavid, sometimes both, and he's got 9 goals 5-on-5. It's not 9 goals total. It's not good enough.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, the one thing that I admire about you and all the Edmonton media is you kick over every bloody rock, man, on your show, because I listen. It's great. And I just think at the 9-1 start, the best in franchise history, what were they doing back then? Clearly they were healthy. They were scoring. Which team is the Edmonton Oilers? That or this or somewhere in between?
I'd say neither. I think they're right in the middle. Obviously, they weren't that dominant. Their power play and their penalty kill was unreal early on. They were getting some big time scoring from teams that had a lot of confidence early. Then injuries did hit, but hey, injuries hit every team. But when you lose 3 of your top 4 defensemen, and 3 of them were out at one time, in Keith and Nurse and Ceci, that's obviously going to impact your team, no question. Now they're all back. So that excuse goes out the window. And they were all back against Toronto, and they still allowed 5 goals. So the whole team's got to be better. Right now, Rod, you know what? I used a joke on my show about, the Oilers right now, if they had $500, they couldn't score in a brothel. They are struggling mightily offensively.
Well, and Columbus is in there tonight, a better team than I thought that they would be. How big is tonight's game, man? What's the buzz in the City of Champions about tonight's game?
Yeah, it's a big game. Hey, you know what? In 2017, when the Oilers made the playoffs, they did lose 5 in a row in November after a really good start, right? So, and got back and that dropped them back to 500. And then they kind of played 500, and then they got hot. So a 6-game losing streak won't kill you if you figure out a way to end it. And that's why, all of a sudden it becomes 7. Then they're on the road. Maybe it's 8. You got to win tonight against the Columbus team, who's only won 2 of their last 9 games. It's not like the Blue Jackets are a juggernaut by any stretch. They got a really good goaltender in Ms. Lurkins, and they got some decent players. But this is a game that Edmonton you got to figure out how to win. And more importantly, they got to figure out how to score first, Rod. There's 21 teams now in the NHL that have scored first in at least half of their games. The Oilers have scored first in 9 of 27 games. So 33%. It's not good enough. Now, and then funny enough, they're the only team in the league who's undefeated when they score first. So figure it out, guys. I'm not a rocket scientist here, but I can figure it out. Scoring first is a huge advantage in the NHL. It has been for decades. In the last 5 years, Rod, there's only 5 teams, basically one a year, who's able to have a points percentage above 500 when they give up the first goal. It's pretty obvious. You got to score first in the NHL if you want to have success.
Yeah, well, to dig deeper into that, if you don't mind, and ours is a hockey-loving audience, I think they know the game as well as you and I. What is that a sign of? To me, it's a sign that they're not ready to go, which to me is, you would point to coaching. But I've said for years, the top 3 coaches in the NHL to me were Mike Babcock, Joel Quenneville, and Dave Tippett. Only one remains, Dave Tippett. So I think you have the best coach in the NHL. I do. So how do you not be ready to go if you're the Edmonton Oilers?
Well, see, I'm not a big believer that it's on the coach. These are professional athletes. What's a coach going to do? Does he have to go in in movie scenes, remember the Titans, or what are we going to have Al Pacino coming out here on any given Sunday and having some rip-roaring speech every game? The Dave Tippett, these guys are professional athletes. And the thing was, last year, they scored first pretty well. The year before, so in Tippett's first 2 years, they were actually 9th best in the NHL in scoring first. So to me, I think this is a funk. It's in their head a little bit. Leon Draisaitl on Tuesday, he missed a wide open net. Not a little bit, but it was wide open. Campbell wasn't even close. And the league's leading scorer missed it. Now, if he scores there, I think that game could go very different because it would just relax their team. So I think that, if I'm Columbus tonight, man, I'm doing everything I can to score first, because a team that's lost 6 in a row, Rod, you've covered sports long enough, it gets in your head. And now they're thinking about, oh my God, here we go again. So I think if the Oilers can score first, they're going to be able to exhale a little bit and probably play better. And it forces other teams to have to open up a bit. And when you open up against the Oilers, that's when McDavid and Draisaitl will kill you.
Oh, big game tonight. Wonderful visit and update, Gregor. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas, my friend, and we can do it again soon.
Hey, Rod, Merry Christmas. And by the way, happy birthday.
Thank you, pal. I appreciate it. Jason Gregor joining us from the City of Champions. We're going to take a timeout and come back with viewer takeover for Taco Time. Thank you, Gregor, for that, by the way, for your assist on that one that we banged into the net. And on the way, Ryan Leslie from Sportsnet Flames in hour 2. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
This holiday season, wish your way at Capital GMC. Unwrap a completely customized vehicle ordering experience. Reserve a pre-ordered unit that's already on its way. Or get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on the lot and ready to roll. And don't forget, we pay big for your used vehicle, even if you don't buy from us. Plus, our service department is your winter headquarters. Get special pricing on name brand tires, storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. This holiday season, wish your way at Capital GMC.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
You might not be injured if you slip and fall, or you might sprain your wrist, or even fracture it. A severe wrist fracture can take at least 2 months to heal properly. And it can cause you to develop arthritis that keeps you from doing something as simple as picking up your child without pain. Slips, trips, and falls can have a lifetime impact. Take safer steps with WorksafeSask.ca.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of time. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Hey, Matt, how's it going? We have something really special.
Holy, it's pretty impressive.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
It is taco time, viewer takeover time. And before we get to those comments, so we got some gooders. A sports update, Marie-Philippe Poulin was the hero after she scored the OT winner in Canada's 2-1 win in women's hockey over the United States Wednesday night in the 5th game of the rivalry series. Poulin also scored a power play goal in the second period to stake Canada to its first lead before American Hillary Knight tied the score. We're getting into the Canada-U.S. thing. I have a feeling it's going to be a lot of fun over the Christmas holidays with the World Juniors because when it comes to hockey, these countries really don't like each other. The NHL is bringing back enhanced COVID-19 protocols that include daily testing and restrictions in a bid to limit a surging outbreak that has affected 140 players. The enhanced protocols will be put into effect immediately and last through January 7th. The move came yesterday after Ontario health officials reduced capacity at the home arenas of the Maple Leafs, Senators, and Raptors to 50%. Urban Meyer's tumultuous NFL tenure has ended just 13 games in, including just 2 wins. The Jacksonville Jaguars fired him early this morning. Owner Shad Khan made the move hours after ex-Jags player Josh Lambo told a Florida newspaper that Meyer kicked him during practice in August. This sports update for Ballers Rec Room. Check out our brand new line of games and book your group or business Christmas party now. And for the Tap Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store, as well as Red Bull Canada. Red Bull gives you wings. To the text line, to the 902 line. Let me just hit refresh because there are a lot coming in. Yeah, there's a lot coming in here. Ray is watching in Scarborough, Ontario. He says, "Hi, Rod. I have to admit I'm a little down today with the news Ontario is back to 50% capacity. I get it that fan safety is most important, but I thought we were turning the corner on this. For selfish reasons, I hope the leagues don't take a pause. That would be very depressing. Better days ahead," says Ray. Ray, I wish I had something to add, but I don't. Are we all in it together? I guess we are. We are here. So tune in for at least 2 hours a day. We'll try and take your mind off this stuff. I don't get it either. And to, again, the Panthers home tonight to the LA Kings. They'll be 13 to 14,000 at the game. There was 14,000 the other night here for Ottawa. Don't need a proof of vaccination to get in. Don't need a mask. I don't get it. 85,000 will be at the Dolphins and Jets on Sunday. 85,000 will be at the Capital One Orange Bowl New Year's Eve. No proof of vaccination required. I don't get it. Jim Korchinski, I don't know what's gotten in him today. He's watching in Cabo San Lucas. We got Game Plus down there? He says the Argos won't have to worry about 50% capacity next year. What's that supposed to mean, Jim? I don't get it. Brian, watching in Withrow, Alberta, says head coach is not successful at the next level. Hugh Campbell, 5-time Grey Cup champion. No championship in the NFL. Talking about Urban Meyer being fired 13 games into his first NFL job after winning 3 natties, 2 with Florida and 1 with OSU. Who are some other coaches that had that happen? And he says Hugh Campbell. That's tough though, right? Really tough. I'm interested to get the Moose in next hour to talk a little bit more about that because maybe in Houston, Hugh Campbell didn't have the players. How about that? There's something to that. The Jaguars are the worst team in the NFL, talent-wise. Last minute of play in hour 1. From Jim Wagner, he says, best of birthday blessings to you, Rod. Hope you have as much fun as you give us daily. So far off to a great start. Thank you, Jim. Very nice of you to say. Got a new haircut place. How about that? I don't know her name, but she said to me today, "You're mine now." She put all this fancy stuff in my hair, too. I said, I might have to hire you to do my hair every day. I can't remember how to do all this. Mike in Toronto watching in the 905. He says, there is no flu season in Florida. Canada is chasing its tail around in a cardboard box. Sad. We'll get to more of your comments, and we'll put a smile on your face after this break when the Moose rejoins us and Ryan Leslie, too, here on Game Plus and YouTube.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
A Landmark Cinemas $30 gift card with $40 in great movie savings is the perfect gift to give, or give to yourself. Get yours today in theater or online at landmarkcinemas.com and make it a merry movie season. Landmark Cinemas, for movie lovers.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right. Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Hashtag dad advice from Jim Peterson, my dad, who said, cheer as loud as you want for your own team. Don't ever boo the other team. Don't ever boo the other team. And to boo your own team? Unthinkable. And the world of James William Peterson. So, A, I would never do it. B, with the cost of those things? Are you kidding me?
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome, everybody, to Hour 2 of the RP Show here on Game Plus Television and YouTube. As always, trying new things, learning new things. I've got 2 earbuds in my ears today, and boom, sounds just blowing me out. But that's okay. And it is listen, I'm not the guy, the attention whore as they are. I'm going, it's my birthday. But it is my birthday. And the reason, Moose, is I bring him in from the NHL's Bermuda Triangle in the Great White North, Moose. The reason I'm making a thing of that, Darren, is somebody tweeted today, how exactly old is Rod? Why is this such a secret? I said, it's not a secret. I'm not that guy. I'm going to tell you right now that today I turned 49 years old. And I remember my dad's 50th birthday. It's funny that you guys play the clip of me talking about my dad coming in, because I talk about him all the time. His 50th birthday, I'll never forget. It was one of those black hats, black with the white, those old farmer hats with the mesh back. It was the 80s. You wouldn't remember because you were born in the 80s, but it had a little black pom-pom on top. It said 50 and nifty. And they gave him a walker made out of hockey sticks. And I'll never forget, it was in my cousin Chad's basement. And I'm like, my God, he's 50. He's ancient. If we get a couple more years out of him, I'll be happy. That's what I thought as a teenage boy.
Yes.
And here I am, a year
50
away
just
from it.
seems like so old. And you're so young. And, you know, it's funny. You're just giving me ideas for next year, Rod. I mean, 49 is nothing. 50, a little more pomp and circumstance. It's funny that you're in Florida. I'm sure you'll be there on your 50th. So that's cool. Happy birthday. We love
It's
you.
just thank you.
Enjoy the day.
I appreciate it, but I'm not hiding my age at all. So I wanted to get that out there because somebody thought, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the guy with the Wikipedia profile that doesn't have a birthday on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Anyways, hour 2 is brought to you by Original 16. Extra smooth, extra refreshing. Find Original 16 at a store near you today. On the way in this hour, Ryan Leslie of Sportsnet Flames. We had a text. You stepped out for about 20 minutes there, Moose, so you missed a little of what went on. We had a text from Ray in Scarborough, Ontario, the guy that sent us those Kitchener Rangers jackets, by the way, which I love, and I know you do too. And he just said he's hard not to be down in the dumps about the latest COVID news, especially as an Ontario person with capacity capped at 50%. And I just don't want to be that guy. My Lord, you know that you're going to get enough COVID coverage everywhere else. So I don't want to talk about that. I want to have fun today, as we always do. Carlos Legena, watching in Indianapolis, says, spending your birthday at taco time later today? Not today, I don't think, but I appreciate the question. We're into taco time viewer takeover earlier than normal today. For the love of burritos, it is buy one, get one burrito half off at taco time every Thursday. And by the way, for those that wonder if we are ever coming back to Canada and the opportunity to go to Taco Times in Canada, the over 120 locations, the answer is yes. And we'll be announcing it tomorrow, Darren. So thank you for letting me get that horse out of the barn tomorrow. We're both very excited about that announcement tomorrow. It's a biggie, right?
Oh, yeah. Huge.
Yeah.
Huge. It's gonna be really fun.
It's probably our biggest announcement we've ever had. So I'm very excited about that. But anyways, when I say I don't want to talk about COVID, what you also missed was this. I'm going to call it up again for the benefit of those that weren't watching last hour or are only listening to hour 2 of the podcast on the re-record here. I told you that I had fallen in with a really wonderful football crew here of football people. And incidentally, going back to Cafe Seville Friday night down in Fort Lauderdale, Joey's place.
Let's go.
You betcha. So one of those guys sent me this list on the heels of Urban Meyer being fired. I know people just love the stories. So Urban Meyer fired pretty much overnight. I guess it was first thing this morning. The 2-11 Jacksonville Jaguars firing their coach, Urban Meyer. 13 games into his first NFL job. He's won 3 college national championships, 2 with Florida, 1 with Ohio State University. So I was saying, Darren, and I just knew that this is a discussion that people would love. Who were some other coaches that had massive success at one level, couldn't translate it to the next level? Some of the comments that came in were Hugh Campbell, 5 Grey Cups in a row with the Edmonton Eskimos, goes to the NFL's Houston Oilers, fizzles out. You were with us when the Greg Marshall came up from the Western Mustangs, right? Had success at the Canadian University level, went to the Hamilton Tiger Cats, didn't last there. So here's a list, Darren. I don't think you were here when I got this. I'll just tell you this one guy's name, Sammy, because he probably would like to have his name listed. Before Urban Meyer, Matt Rule from Baylor, who's still in Carolina. His career record, 10-19 there. So for how long will Matt Rule be in Carolina? Cliff Kingsbury may end up, he would have to win a Super Bowl probably, but to go from Texas Tech to the Cardinals, he's all-time 23-20-1. Of all these coaches, you tell me who's the best. Okay, Jimmy Johnson isn't on this list, but it only goes back to 01. Bill O'Brien, Penn State to Houston. Chip Kelly, Oregon to the Philadelphia Eagles. Doug Marrone from Syracuse to the Bills. And let me tell you a story about Doug Marrone in a minute. Greg Schiano from Rutgers to Tampa Bay. Jim Harbaugh from Stanford to the 49ers. Bobby Petrino from Louisville to the Falcons. Nick Saban from the LSU Tigers to the Dolphins. Steve Spurrier from Florida to Washington. And then Butch Davis from Miami to the Browns. Who's the most? Now, there's some easy ones there to say who is the worst, but who is the best on that list?
Oh, well, Jim Harbaugh went to the Super Bowl, right? With the 49ers.
And lost.
So lost, but he still went there. I'm trying to think.
His all-time record,
Super Bowls?
yeah, His all-time record, 44-19-1 with the 49ers, by the way. Pretty good.
Probably that's the name that jumped off the board to me as being the most successful at the NFL level. Just because he went to a Super Bowl and had that success and a good record. It's not the only one, though.
Good call. I'd have to go back and look at Jimmy Johnson's wiki, but I think he won 2 championships with the Miami Hurricanes. Did he not, everybody? And then he went to the Dallas Cowboys and won 2 Super Bowls there. So I would be remiss if I didn't, on my birthday, bring in a comment from my cousin Christine. She's watching in Medicine Hat. And she says, I so remember the night you were born. Another boy is what I remember most. Yes, I was the third of 3 boys and still am. But thank you, Chris, for that. A few of our viewers are writing in and saying Wayne Gretzky. And that's not, you guys know that that's not a thing, right? You know that? Justin Wolf writes in and says, Gretzky, even though he's admitted coaching wasn't his thing. We're missing the point.
The success. Where was the success?
Exactly. I said massive success at one level. Did I need to put in the caveat as a coach at one level before going to the next level? And if you want to flip on that for a second, who's a coach? Listen, there's a longer list of guys that didn't succeed at the next level than those that did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That didn't. Terry Simpson, God love him. Simso. Won a Memorial Cup with the Prince Albert Raiders. World Juniors with Team Canada in 1985. Never translated that to any kind of success with the New York Islanders. Who are guys that had major junior hockey success or college football success and went on to the NFL or NHL and just kept rolling? Or for that matter, CIS, Canadian junior football success. Who are some of those guys? It's a longer list that didn't, wouldn't you say? And I don't mean to put you on the list or on the hot seat here, Darren, but that's a harder list to come up with.
Well, the first name I come up with from a hockey perspective is Babcock. Won a university national championship with Lethbridge, had some success in the Western Hockey League, went on to the NHL, won Olympic golds and Stanley Cup. So here's a guy who had some success.
That would be the line that you'd want to follow if you were a coach.
Yeah,
Like
I would
Babs
think
did.
so. Yeah, I would think so. Championships sure help. But you're right. It's not a long list of guys that have had tremendous success at all those levels. There's been guys who have come up, guys and girls that have been like Sean McVay. I don't really remember Sean McVay having an incredibly, like a big collegiate career as a coach. He's still so young, right? Guys that just were instantly, okay, this is an NFL type head coach or coordinator. Boom. Guys have gone from position coaches in the NFL to coordinators to coaches. They've evolved that way. But really strong head coaches at one level to a head coach at another level, it's a little bit more rare for sure.
Well, so we probably aren't overly surprised at what happened with Urban Meyer. But I meant to say this when I texted Sammy this morning, and I said, "Why does everybody hate Urban Meyer down here?" His response was, "He's an old school coach, and new school players don't like old school coaches." And I get that, but there's way more to it than that. Because I'm driving around South Florida and I'm listening to 560 WQAM. They've been hammering on Urban Meyer for 3 solid months. And let's remember that he won 2 national championships with the Florida Gators. I think it's probably more than anything a jealousy thing. But my God, do they hate Urban Meyer? And that has nothing to do with him being an old school coach. Why the media hates him and just football fans. I think it goes back to the jealousy thing. Casey's watching in Winnipeg, and he says Brian Doby, University of Manitoba, has declined several offers to coach in the CFL. So too did Frank McChrystal. And I think the guy that won 7 national junior championships, Frank turned down coaching opportunities in the pros. I think people forget how well those university jobs in Canada pay. Randy Nickel is watching in Alberta, Cochrane, Alberta. He says Barry Melrose did well at everything. He did, but it's 1:11 Eastern, by the way. Thank you, Mandy. Well, it was. Thank you for pointing that out. 11:11 Mountain. Barry Melrose, a little before your time, Darren, in terms of being on the bench. You know who he is from his ESPN time. But one of the pride of Kelvington, Saskatchewan, goes on to win a Memorial Cup with the Medicine Hat Tigers. I believe a Calder Cup with the Adirondack Red Wings and the Apple. And then goes to the NHL and takes the LA Kings to the Stanley Cup final in 1993, but doesn't win. And then he ends up getting the deal with ESPN, which, listen, I may be sitting in South Florida here now, but my buddies are all hockey guys. They're Barry Melrose's buddies. And I said, do you think this was in the 90s, Darren, how far ahead of Barry Melrose's time that he was? They were like, he's making $900,000 a year on ESPN right now as their hockey analyst. He's never going back coaching. If he goes back coaching, he's an idiot. And then what did he do? Went back and coached the Tampa Bay Lightning and got fired. And wished he hadn't.
What do you say? What do coaches want to do? Coaches want to coach.
There you go. That's and that is the point. But I just want to say something when I say that with this story. I'm driving around listening to 560 AM, and what they've been saying about Urban Meyer, there's like heat coming out of the dash. I'm like, you know how many times when you're driving and you look at the radio when something is said that you can't believe? I'm like, I can't believe what they say about Urban Meyer. And I'm going to be honest with you. You Canadian coaches, you get off so easy. So easy compared to what your American counterparts get. And whether that be hockey coaches, football coaches, I'm not joking, man. The stuff that's in the papers, the stuff that's on Sports Talk Radio down here, I think that's why I was like, what? Manny Diaz, they were talking about firing him, the coach of the Miami Hurricanes, since mid-September. They just did it last week, but I'm like, my God, I'm just not used to it because I'm used to the Canadian media where, I'll be honest, they're so afraid of the teams that they won't say anything bad. Here, they clearly don't care. They don't care.
Urban Meyer spurned him right when he left and went to Ohio State, right? So they don't like that either. So you wonder what, with coaching changes now, what they're going to feel like in Oklahoma. What are they going to feel like in Notre Dame, right? When these guys come back into town, when coaches move, Florida, the Gators, people think we won national championships. We can be a premier program in this country. And it's like, you're going to go to Ohio State? What, you think they're better than us? Right? CAA them. I get it.
I'm enjoying the comments here. We're in Taco Time viewer takeover early. Jeff Caldwell, watching in Oregon, says Ted Lasso had success in the NCAA football, moved on to pro football. Let's not forget about that. Jimmy McClarty, watching at Ryerson University in Toronto. He says Willie Desjardins coached at the U of Calgary. I would suggest that Willie was unable to replicate the success at the NHL level that he had in junior. I don't think anybody would argue that. Free Oleg in Winnipeg. I like this guy. He says Don Hay, good junior coach, not much success at the NHL level. And that is the truth. Currently, and last seen, assistant coach of the Portland Winterhawks. From my cousin Christine in Medicine Hat, she says, it still amazes me how well you know people and years they coached or played or years championships were won. Truly amazing. I have very few talents, cousin Christine, but one is this. And the other is remembering faces. Our poll question today, by the way, for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center is, what's the Edmonton Oilers' biggest need? Hashtag, let's go Oilers. Is it secondary scoring? Is it blue line play? Is it goaltending or other? And right now, 57% of the respondents leading the way on Twitter is goaltending. They're saying, Moose, goaltending is the biggest problem plaguing the Edmonton Oilers right now. And Clark tells me goaltending on YouTube as well. You guys remember Barry Long from Coachella Live, the show down there in Southern California? He has written me, and he says, I told you Urban Meyer would be fired before season's end.
How about that?
I didn't think he would. So thank you, Barry, for reminding me of that from Coachella Live in Southern Cali. One of our newfound friends here. Oh, we're over it for a break. Moose, you okay to stick around for another segment?
Of course.
I see the CFL schedule is out. How about that? We'll talk about that and more when we come back. You're watching the RP Show. Daytime sports talk on Game Plus Television, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Text 902-518-3033. 902-518-3033. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rod Pedersen. Text 902-518-3033.
You might not be injured if you slip and fall, or you might hit your head. That could cause a traumatic brain injury that, depending on how severe it is, could take months to heal or leave you with long-term effects. Effects like getting debilitating headaches for the rest of your life. Slips, trips, and falls can have a lifetime impact. Take safer steps with WorksafeSask.ca.
Addiction. It destroys relationships, families, and lives. It makes individuals and the people who love them feel powerless. But the good news is that addiction is a treatable illness. At Aurora Recovery Center, we provide everything you need to build a solid foundation for your recovery, with holistic, evidence-based treatment tailored to each individual. Located in Gimli, Manitoba, on the shores of Lake Winnipeg, Aurora can help regardless of whether or not you feel ready or have tried before. Aurora Recovery Center. Recovery for life. Visit aurorarecoverycenter.com for more information today.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Hey, Don.
Hey, Quinn.
We have a surprise for you.
Oh, my.
A Landmark Cinemas $30 gift card with $40 in great movie savings is the perfect gift to give. Or give to yourself. Get yours today in theater or online at landmarkcinemas.com and make it a merry movie season. Landmark Cinemas, for movie lovers.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Back live, it is daytime sports talk from sunny and somewhat humid South Florida. And the Mooses in the NHL's Bermuda Triangle back home. What do we got? We got 3, 6, 9, 10 games in the National Hockey League as it stands right now. And big news. Do you have the... No, you don't have the bell with you because you're not in the bunker.
I don't.
By Monday, I hope to have a cowbell I can ring for breaking news because the Canadian Football League schedule has been released. And I will read from the news release in one moment. But first, we need to tell you that addiction, folks, it destroys relationships, families, and lives. But the good news is addiction is a treatable illness. At Aurora Recovery Center, we provide everything you need to build a solid foundation for your recovery with holistic, evidence-based treatment tailored to each individual. Located in Gimli, Manitoba, on the shores of Lake Winnipeg, Aurora can help regardless of whether you feel ready or not or have already tried before. Aurora Recovery Center, recovery for life. Visit their website, aurorarecovery.com. Now, Moose, I was in my emails and then I got out like an idiot. So I'm going back into my emails. I thank the Canadian Football League for sending this. I thank our viewers for alerting me to it. And here it is. Ta-da! I'm reading from the news release. Following the successful completion of the 2021 season, which culminated in the 108th Grey Cup in Hamilton, where the Winnipeg Blue Bombers were crowned back-to-back champions, the Canadian Football League has unveiled the 2022 regular season schedule. Launched just in time for the holiday season, games to the upcoming campaign are the perfect stocking stuffer for CFL fans from coast to coast to coast. Commissioner Randy Ambrosi said in the release, with marquee matchups, holiday traditions, and plenty of divisional clashes, the 2022 season has something for everyone. It's never too early to circle big dates on calendars and to start planning fun family football trips. The entire schedule can be found at CFL.ca. And, Darren, if you don't mind me just going on a little longer, highlights of the schedule include a return of the preseason. Fans will get a sneak peek at the 2022 editions of their favorite teams. Opening week intrigue, the Montreal Alouettes will head west to McMahon Stadium to take on the Calgary Stampeders on June 16th as Thursday Night Football officially opens the upcoming season. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers will begin their title defense on Friday Night Football with the Ottawa Redblacks in town. The reigning East Division champion Hamilton Tiger Cats kick off the 2022 campaign by visiting the Saskatchewan Roughriders before the Edmonton Elks face off against the BC Lions to wrap up week one. I could go on and on and on. Yeah. Who saw this coming down the pipe today? I did not. Did you?
No, this is a great early Christmas present from the CFL. So, congratulations. Bravo. This is awesome. I didn't expect it to come out this fast. Especially right after the Grey Cup. Now, it might always come out in December. I'm trying to remember typical schedule releases. I think it does.
This seems like a record 4 days after the Grey Cup.
But this does seem like a record. Not once did I hear anybody say, geez, when's the schedule coming out? So right on the heels of the Grey Cup, keep the momentum rolling. I like it. Great job.
So they're excited.
He likes it too.
From the viewers. Yeah. Chris Bird in King City, Ontario says, kudos to the CFL and MLSE for scheduling all Argos games on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, with the exception of home opener on Thursday. Now, that sounds kind of a ridiculous comment. Thanks for putting all the games on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But this is a fan base that has had games on Tuesday. They've had games on Monday, Wednesday. So I get it. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says it is only right. They return to normal CFL season opens at historic McMahon. The fans deserve that. Is that what we're calling it? Historic McMahon?
That makes it sound better.
From Carlos. Yeah, right. Lipstick on a pig. I'll take lipstick on a pig, Alex, for 200, please.
Yeah.
Carlos in Indianapolis. Hashtag. Is it June yet? Well, I guess they're not moving the season up. How about that?
How about
Clearly. Where the heck? Oh, Ryan in Saratoga, New York. Biggest Alouettes fan. I'm pretty sure in Saratoga, New York. Says the Montreal Alouettes play BC and Calgary once each and Ottawa 4 times, including Labor Day weekend. Well, thank you for the update on that, Ryan. Thank you. I appreciate that. So that literally came out of nowhere. What are we going to talk about now?
I know, right? It did. It came out of nowhere. And I'm not sure why Montreal and Calgary is the marquee matchup of week one, I guess, because it's Thursday Night Football. So that's cool. Tell me about the rematch of the Grey Cup. That's kind of what I want to hear. Or, something a little bit more spicy. But no, it's great. It's awesome. We got the schedule out. We can make plans. I don't think tickets are available yet to start buying tickets for Christmas. But, when we get into the early New Year, lots of lead up time. I love it. Really great.
Well, clearly those tickets will be on sale before Christmas time because that's why they did it. But I'm just sitting here going, wow. Wow. You're sitting here on live television. The CFL drops its schedule 4 days after the season concludes, and you're thinking, were we even going to talk about moving the season up? Were we even going to talk about this or that? Or, you know what I mean? Like just wango.
Yeah.
By the way, Clark, I would like to read the Great Western Ultra update at some point here this hour if we can. So I appreciate that. Oh, it is a quick button push for you? Because Darren, I want your take on this. Hang on a second. On what my commentary is, by the way, which is brought to you. Yeah, it's brought to you once a week by Great Western Ultra Beer. Hour 2 is brought to you by Great Western Original 16. So we're big fans of the Great Western, folk. Hang on, it's just coming up. Okay, Clark, when you're ready, let me know, and we'll go. How about 3, 2, 1? I'm sorry, but you have to wonder how in the world this happened. If you're following sports closely, the big leagues got flipped on their ear this week with an explosion of COVID tests being positive and hundreds of players going into COVID protocol and staff too. Gosh knows we've learned over the past 21 months that there are bigger things than sports, but because of the intense glare on the industry, it's hard not to notice its every move. And on Wednesday, we learned indoor venues of 1,000 or more in Ontario will be going back to 50% capacity for the foreseeable future due to the province's surge in COVID cases. The big leagues are tightening their COVID protocols 10 days after the CFL relaxed theirs. I mean, what the hell? So I don't know. I suppose we all have our own perspectives, but as the host of a TV sports talk show that airs across Canada and 31 states, I'm just wondering if the show, sports, will continue to go on. The World Juniors is top of mind for me. Shoot, on TSN Sports Center, I heard them discuss the notion of going back to a bubble for sports. Really? Now, here's the most confusing thing. If you listen to or read this commentary every day, you'll know I'm in Florida doing my best to cover and attend sports down here. I go to every single Florida Panthers game, and there's neither a vaccination nor mask requirement at FLA Live Arena. There were nearly 14,000 fans at Tuesday's game against Ottawa, and no problems. The Capital One Orange Bowl goes New Year's Eve as National College football semifinal between Michigan and Georgia. 65,000-seat Hard Rock Stadium is sold out with tickets starting at $500 US. Why this is and why Canada is the way it is, I have no answers. As they say, I'm just happy to be here.
How about that?
That's today's commentary, Moose, and while it was not perfectly timed, you get the point. It's brought to you by Great Western Original 16 and Great Western Ultra Lager. And why do I keep asking you to make sense of this? I'm pretty sure you can't make sense of this, can you?
No, but I'm more accepting of it. That's the sense I try and make of it is, look, we just got to understand that we live in different places and we have different expectations and we live in a different world every day than we did the day before. We have to be adapting to it. And everybody's got a different idea of how to approach this pandemic. Let's also remember that. And so that's why we elect the leaders that we have. And in Florida, if the leaders are leading by saying, look, we want to make sure everything's open, you're going to look out for yourself. We want you to be safe. We want you to get vaccinated. You got to be vaccinated to go to certain things, sure, but we're not going to have mask mandates. And that's the direction they're going. In Canada, we have different directions. A little more cautious. I get it. Doesn't make it better, doesn't make it worse, but it's ever changing. We don't know where it's going. All we can do is adapt, stay in the pocket, bob and weave, and try not to get your head taken off.
God bless you for having such a reasoned approach. Metal Shingle Guy writes in on the text line at 902-518-3033. And Metal Shingle Guy says, take a mask to the ball game. 4,100 COVID cases in Florida yesterday. Highest increase of any state. Probably don't want to hear that. This is what I would say, Metal Shingle Guy. You do you, I'll do me. How about that? I'm double vaccinated. I go to the game. I have to be vaccinated to get into the press box, which I do. And I'm going to say if I was fearful, I would stay home. So that's my take on it. So again, just worry about you. By the way, Great Western Ultra, an original 16 to fit your active lifestyle, a superior taste with only 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol, taste without compromise. Pick up at a store near you today, and clearly we are into viewer takeover. For the love of burritos, it's buy one, get one burrito, half off at Taco Time every Thursday. The one thing that I think, when stuff breaks in the middle of us being on the air, Darren, the tap dancing that goes along, I'm used to it after all these years. But yesterday, with all these COVID things happening and the players and staff going in, I was kind of fooled into thinking, oh my God, are they going to pause the schedule? Shoot, they were talking about it on SportsCenter, so I'm not the only one. But with the 50% capacity in the arenas, nowhere are they talking, I don't think, about not playing. Like the World Juniors is not in jeopardy. Clearly, the Capital One Orange Bowl is not, or the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. But in Canada, they're not. You're not afraid they're going to stop sports again, are you?
I'm not. And I think about this from, if I was in a leadership role and how you would roll this out. We really want the population to get vaccinated. We're seeing that severe illnesses are down and deaths are down among those that are vaccinated, and that's what you want to promote. So if you want to promote people to get vaccinated, then you have to make sure that those that are vaccinated can continue to enjoy more things, have more privileges, have less restrictions. And those that aren't vaccinated, I think what you'll see is the world will just become a little bit more difficult. So they'll start having more restrictions in place. You'll have less opportunities if you're not vaccinated. I think it's about rewarding the vaccinated. And so that'll be it. They may mandate a booster shot for you to get a third one to continue to do the things you're doing. That's where I see this going. If you limit the, I don't see shutdowns in sports. I really don't. Unless it becomes a case of they can't get enough players on the ice or on the field.
Randy from the Peg writes in on the 902 text line. And he says, on your commentary, it's the difference of healthcare systems. One sucks. Guess which one? Enjoy your freedom in Florida, Rod. Wish I was there. I don't want to say whom, but a buddy of mine that played for the Buccaneers texted me, and he's like, welcome to the COVID capital. And he says, enjoy your freedom. That's exactly what he said. He said, enjoy Florida, enjoy the sun, enjoy your freedom. So that is a big thing. That's a real, and I just, like I say, they're going through their business in California with what they're doing there. I just don't understand it. And actually, Darren, I appreciate that you have been as reasoned as you have been with your explanation of why things. I hope people are listening to what you're saying, because I don't understand it. I don't. Because you said it yesterday. How really sick are these folks? The guys that are going into are any of them? I don't think that they are.
I'm sure there's going to be there's always outliers to it for sure. But no, we're not hearing of, the same cases that we were hearing of before people were getting vaccinated.
Moose, you coming back for overtime?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, should be a good one. When we come back, Ryan Leslie from Sportsnet Flames to talk about the latest of what's going on with Calgary's NHL team. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus Television Network, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Hey, Don.
Hey, Quinn.
We have a surprise for you.
Oh, my.
You might not be injured if you slip and fall. Or you might sprain your wrist, or even fracture it. A severe wrist fracture can take at least 2 months to heal properly. And it can cause you to develop arthritis that keeps you from doing something as simple as picking up your child without pain. Slips, trips, and falls can have a lifetime impact. Take safer steps with WorksafeSask.ca.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
This holiday season, wish your way at Capital GMC. Unwrap a completely customized vehicle ordering experience. Reserve a pre-ordered unit that's already on its way. Or get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on the lot and ready to roll. And don't forget, we pay big for your used vehicle, even if you don't buy from us. Plus, our service department is your winter headquarters. Get special pricing on name brand tires, storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. This holiday season, wish your way at Capital GMC.
Hey, Matt, how's it going? We have something really special.
Holy. It's pretty impressive.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
It is the RP Show. Daytime Sports Talk, episode number 635. Well, we always enjoy our visits with this guy, Ryan Leslie from Sportsnet Flames. Flames were to have a very busy week, and the pause has been thrown on that. The brakes have been thrown on that. I see he joins us from his living room. Happy holidays, Les. How you doing, my friend?
Merry Christmas. I got to ask. Let me move these screens around. I can't even see you. Anyhow, where are you? I've been out of the loop. What's going on? Tropical, right?
I am in South Florida. I'm sure you've heard of it. I think you've been here. And I've been down here for a time. I'm going to be down here for a time. I'm hosting the show out of here. Thanks for paying attention, Ryan.
Yeah, no, I've been in another whole other stratosphere. I apologize. The tan's coming in. You're looking healthy. You got the socks up to your knees, sandals. You're retired. You're mailing this in like my grandfather down in Florida.
Del Boca Vista. I've already shipped you your Christmas present. You can stop with the compliments, Ryan. Hey.
Okay.
What's life like covering the Calgary Flames right now?
Well, it's very uncertain, as you could imagine. It's we're on a bit of a pause. I was supposed to host a few games out of Toronto this week. I was supposed to go, I think, Monday to Wednesday, so yesterday. Those games didn't happen, as the hockey world knows. And as a result, kind of on standby, kind of waiting to see what does come next. We understand that Saturday's game here against Columbus has been postponed. They canceled postponed the 4, I should say. And so now we wait to see what happens. There have been early reports of games being postponed until as we go through Christmas. So I don't know what's official yet. I've heard some things, and I don't want to speculate. So we'll see what happens to the rest of the games between now and certainly through Christmas and into the new year. But, there has been some talk about maybe the focus being on the 27th against Edmonton as a return date. But again, all speculation at this point.
Well, I really appreciate you coming on when this thing all started 21 months ago or whatever it was. Does this have the feel of that for you, Ryan? Just you specifically, or is this a different feeling from back then?
It's a different feel for me personally in that, this has gone through the entire organization of the Calgary Flames. But I'm really pleased to report in any of the conversations I've had with players, management, and staff that everybody's feeling fine. And so that to me is paramount. And everybody wants to weigh in on their own opinion and political side of it. I don't wade into those waters. But I'm glad everybody's okay. This feels a little bit different. I don't want to say that naively, because certainly it's a situation that you can't take lightly. But these players are itching to get back at it. For the most part, everybody is symptom free, and I hope it stays that way. So it does feel a little bit different on that front, maybe because it might be it's a different variant this time around, but certainly one that you have to stay on top of if you're one of those individuals it's affecting. The great thing about the Flames is they've been tested and beyond tested and tested and tested. So these are young athletic professionals, and thankfully they're okay. And hopefully this becomes something that we look back on and say, okay, that was a major bump in the road in terms of scheduling. And as long as everybody stays healthy, that's paramount. So we'll see when this thing gets going. But to answer your question, it feels very different this time around. And I hope it is different.
Well, wonderful answer. And I really appreciate the positivity. I think the viewers appreciate that too. A reason to feel optimistic, but doesn't come at a good time for the Calgary Flames. Let's talk about the on-ice product of this team, Ryan. Who saw this coming, honestly? Did you? The way that the Calgary Flames have played this year?
No, Rod, I didn't. And I think you and I have had a conversation on this program prior to the season about the outlook, and I did not see this coming. And I'll give full marks to Brad Treliving, because there were a lot of people who've felt very strongly about the moves he made as like, what are you doing? Who are you bringing in? They're done. It's over with. And I didn't necessarily go down the road of questioning the character, but I didn't know it would fit quite like this. And the one thing I think we all knew is you were bringing some Stanley Cup pedigree. You were bringing in character individuals to go along with what Treliving and the Flames already had. I mean, they've lost 4 in a row here, but this season and the way it started couldn't have gotten any better for a team that notoriously is digging out of games and at the beginning of every season. And you know what's interesting, Rod, is that they brought in players. None of them are threatening jobs of the core. So while there is a competition for, especially on that blue line, night in, night out, to stay in the lineup, it just seemed like it just kind of worked. They were accent pieces. They were complementary pieces. There were depth. There were character pieces. There were guys who'd won and could help those who hadn't on a night-to-night basis. So Brad Treliving also loaded up in the eventuality of COVID. When I asked him in the summer, I said, you're bringing back Michael Stone. Like, what's the thought there? And he said, Michael Stone understandably knows this system, knows the program, knows everything because he's been here for so long. He fits right in. And when COVID happens, we need NHLers to be able to step right in. So he did his homework early on, and he brought in pieces that might be able to withstand some bumps in the road and to stay on track. So I tip my cap to that because I didn't see any of this season going this way.
Well, you're good, you. And you're the first one that I've heard that hasn't credited all to Daryl Sutter, and I was that. But it's interesting that you say that because you dug a little deeper in terms of personnel. What about style of play, though? Because Jacob Markstrom's setting a record for most shutouts to start a season with the Flames. What about in front of him? There must be some changes there.
Well, I'll just go back to what you said. Daryl has this team prepared night in, night out. And you cannot say what you want about Daryl, firm, if you agree with the way he does his business. You've got to tip your cap at the way he has this team prepared. And chatting with some of the players, they understand his motives. They understand his approach. But they also understand that he has them prepared and playing within a structure that doesn't allow any of them to take their foot off the gas. It's not always going to happen every night, but he has them prepared. Now, to your goaltender and what's in front of him, I mean, Jacob Markstrom has bounced back incredibly. Now, last couple of games, goaltending, Ian Vladar have not been as sharp as they've been. Again, that's going to happen. When you look at their schedule, Rod, it's ridiculous to look at the amount of miles that this team has traveled already. It is absolutely insane. And the fact that they've been able, with new faces, a new coach, a new year, to kind of become galvanized, the road has been a place where they've been able to figure it out together, hang out, go to meals and bond and figure out who each other is. And that's been a good thing. Their blue line in front of them, I didn't see it coming. You lose Mark Giordano. But what I will say about this is Mark Giordano was the captain. He was the leader. Now you don't have a captain, but you have a bunch of leaders. And as a result, there isn't one person that anybody defers to. It is leadership by committee, and everybody has been able to play within the structure, but play their game, and they don't defer to anybody. And there is no need to have a captain here. There is no need to do that right now. They said they'd have it as it organically happened. Well, what's happened organically is you've got a leadership group, and you've got everybody feeling empowered. And as a result, you've seen that on the ice. And any given night, it might be Lucic running through somebody or Gabranson. You know, you've got so many guys who can step. Oliver Shillington, talk about the blue line and in front of the goaltender. This guy's been offensively so good. And then you've got that pairing of Hanifin and Rasmus Andersson, who welcome playing top lines and shutdown minutes. And, you know, you've just had so many different characters. Johnny Gaudreau having a real bounce back. Matthew and Lindholm as a trio playing so well together. They love playing with each other. There's no worrying about minutes. There's no worried about ice time or Daryl or who's not performing or I'm doing my job. It's really become a thing that for now, which we didn't see last year. So this is not always a feel good, oh, you cover the team, it's all fluff. It's not the case. This is a group that for the first time looks like they figured it out through Daryl, through what Treliving's done, but most importantly, through each other.
Yeah, well, I appreciate the update. I'm sure it's fun to be able to talk about these things. And just so you know, I'm, I think, 27 miles away from FLA Live Arena, Sunrise, Florida, from the rink. So when you come through, Ryan, maybe we can hook up. But Merry Christmas till then, my friend. Now, great to see you.
Wait a minute. Are you going to be staying down there for some time?
We'll see.
I have more questions than I think. There's more questions as a result here.
I can tell. You have my number.
Yes.
You have my number. I don't know. Maybe you don't.
Over our eyes. Oh, I've got your number, buddy.
Yeah.
But I love that little area. There was a draft down there a few years ago, and actually it was the same draft as Andrew Mangiapane and Shillington and Rasmus Andersson were all drafted. And boy, that little stretch down there. Is the elbow room still on the corner down there on the beach?
Well, if it is, I haven't been there. You know, I don't frequent establishments like that anymore, as you know, Ryan. But ask me about a coffee shop. I could probably find it. Yeah.
Ooh, this conversation took a turn, didn't it? All right.
Okay. Merry Christmas. Goodbye.
Yeah. Good night now.
Ryan Leslie joining us. Scrooge. No, he's the best. He's the best. We got overtime coming up next. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus Television Network, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Text 902-518-3033. 902-518-3033. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rod Pedersen. Text 902-518-3033.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
This holiday season, wish your way at Capital Ford Lincoln. Unwrap a completely customized vehicle ordering experience. Reserve a pre-ordered unit that's already on its way. Or get into a pre-owned vehicle that's on the lot and ready to roll. And don't forget, we pay big for your used vehicle, even if you don't buy from us. Plus, our service department is your winter headquarters. Get special pricing on name brand tires, storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. This holiday season, wish your way at Capital Ford Lincoln. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of time. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
It's overtime, proudly brought to you by the Four Seasons Sports Palace. Your home for the National Hockey League and the UFC. Saw that Rockstar Supply Chains commercial in the break, and that reminded me to mention yesterday's Rockstar of the Day was Sid 60 from Breakfast Television in Toronto, who accurately predicted that Ontario would be shutting down their capacity to 50% for pro sports. Way to go, Sid. It's like you knew something. Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions specializes in improving your company's performance and bottom line through supply chain management services. The Moose rejoins us from the NHL's Bermuda Triangle, and maybe now would be a good time to talk about the featured game. What did I say, Darren? 3, 6, 9, 10 games in the National Hockey League. The Raptors and Bulls are postponed tonight. Thursday night football, the Chiefs at the LA Chargers. That might be the featured game tonight. For me, it's the Florida Panthers and the Los Angeles Kings. Watch my social media for fun and frivolity from FLA Live Arena. You never know who's going to pop up on there, right? On my Instagram. And
I know.
Yeah, there's lots of interesting things going on tonight in the world of sports. But I see, by the way, if I'm correct, yesterday you had the Winnipeg Ice Saskatoon Blades game as your featured game. What did it end up? 6-1 Winnipeg, I think?
6-0. 6-0. It was not a good game. I know. I thought it was the featured game. It turned out it wasn't, but that's okay. I think, tonight the Leafs and Flames is postponed, so I thought that might have been one. Obviously, they're not going to play that game. So for me, it's Thursday night football. Chiefs and Chargers.
By the way, it is Taco Time viewer takeover. For the love of burritos, it's buy one, get one burrito half off at Taco Time every Thursday. And I see... Listen, I don't know if we're going to allow repeat winners or not. You've allowed me to graciously make up the rules on this as we go along, so we can have repeat winners. No, wait. My relations can win, but I don't think we can have repeat winners because my cousin Chris has written in. She says, "Taco about funny." The end of the interview with Ryan Leslie there. I think we got to retire the taco about anything because everybody's been using it, Chris.
Yeah,
I feel like
everybody thinks you got to have the taco lines, eh?
Right. You don't have to. But Chris says, how much does Rod love Florida? I feel like there's a punchline coming. How much does Rod love Florida? So she wants to finish that. Maybe we have a winner for the comment of the week. The Snowman's checking in from Indiana. He says, "What's up, Rod?" Snowman checking in from Indy. Yo. Hey, Snowman. Oh, we got a big announcement tomorrow. It's Friday already tomorrow.
Yeah.
Ryan in New York says, "I would say the big announcement is the show is going to be live from the Edmonton Elks Lodge number 11. But they only meet on the first and third Wednesday of the month at 7:30 p.m. That's funny. Remember? Like that should be going in the year-end clip. Do you have that ready to go in the year-end where I looked up? I went to EdmontonElks.com and found out they met every Monday and Wednesday, I think. Don't they, the Edmonton Elks?
Yeah, need to find that. Need to put that one in there for sure. That's a great one. Yeah, I went to EdmontonElks.com.
There's an Edmonton Elks. The actual website of the football team is goelks.com. By the way, a couple things before we rush out. The rush jacket that you have on. I'm pointing at your jacket.
Yes.
We didn't talk as much as I would have liked about your opening broadcast in the National Lacrosse League as a color guy, because you've hosted before. We got about 30 seconds to talk about that before I give you another topic. But then you're not playing again until New Year's Eve.
I know. They'll play games before, but they're at home against San Diego New Year's Eve. It was awesome. The crowd was great. Calling the game was a lot of fun. Chatting with Derek Keenan and the rest of the group there was awesome. It was fun. Really, really fun.
Good. And so, yeah, they're home again on New Year's Eve, but that is the night that I plan to be at the Capital One Orange Bowl in Miami. Who knows? But I just don't think things are changing cold-wise in Florida. Last minute of play in the RP show. Tomorrow, the big announcement. Who's on the show tomorrow? Who are the guests, Clark? Can you tell me real quick? Natea J, Argo's color commentator. And he's working in the second guest. Okay. And I believe Natea J has been added to the Raptors coverage as well. So I know, Moose, I said I had two things for you, but I forgot the second. So how about that?
Squirrel. Just enjoy your birthday, okay? Enjoy your birthday. Enjoy the sun. Enjoy dinner, the game, all of that stuff tonight. Happy birthday.
Thank you, bud. And I appreciate Jason Gregor, Ryan Leslie, you, of course, Darren, for the support. Big announcement tomorrow on the RP show. So join us at noon Eastern here on Game Plus Television and YouTube Live. See you then.
Right? Get pucks deep. Yeah, yeah. You know, it's a big game. It's a big game. And
everybody's working.
The boys are working hard. It's, one game at a time, one shift at a time.
Oh, good one, Rod. Hot take. I like it. LFG. Spicy. Bob's your uncle. Approved. Let's go. Bingo. Right on. Oh, no. Awesome. How about that?
Text 902-518-3033. 902-518-3033. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rod Pedersen. Text 902-518-3033.
How about that?